So at 5:05 today, Russia said they're going to join the grain deal again, which immediately put prices from having a premium, a risk-on attitude because we're worried about supply. And at 5:05, we immediately reset it back to the back to the middle of our ranges into this value zone, where the market is undecided and where it was trading prior to Russia announcing that they were going to cancel the grain deal. So where do we go from here? Well, that's absolutely anybody's guess. Corn is at the same price level that we've been in since August 29th. We've gone absolutely nowhere, and we have no reason. We have nothing in the immediate horizon that would push us one way or the other. At this point, the export story is stale. The harvest crop size is stale. The weather is pretty stale in South America. Everything is pretty well known and baked into the market. So I don't know what the next catalyst is going to be. And from this setup, there's really no way to guess which way you're going to go. So the best place to be for a farmer is hedged, because we've got too much risk to the downside. From a technical standpoint, this bar is an outside bar down. It is a double closed Q reversal, and we're coming back below our hedge line. But with this consolidation area, I think you got to look a little lower before you get too excited and say, "Oh my gosh, this market's done going up and it's got to go lower." I think you got to give it more room than that. Let's go back and talk about wheat. At 5:04, this is when wheat collapsed. There's 5:04, boom. That's when it broke. And what we've done so far is come back down into the top of the gap area, and we'll see if it can go ahead and fill it. Again, wheat did nothing more than corn. This is where we were trading prior to the news that the Russia exited the grain deal. We put some premium on it. They announced that they're back on, and we've come right back down to the range. Very orderly, makes a lot of sense. Really nothing to write home about. But it does highlight the fact that Russia's in control of the wheat market. Everything hinges on what they do and don't do, and they can come out later today and put this thing right back to the top. And they could even send it limit up. You just don't know what they're going to do. So the best place to be is out and to the sideline and let it play out. On any time frame, it's too volatile. There's not enough consistency for it to establish a trend. We're just completely neutral into the sideline with volatility picking up. Now, the one that might lead the way, though, is soybeans, because remember, they're unaffected by what's going on in the Ukraine, with the only exception being the acreage battle for what we need to have here in South America. So when soybeans start to move higher on no apparent reason, what that might do is propel the other markets higher. So I think for sure our attention is going to be on soybeans today to get an indication of what corn does or might do, because if they can hold support and turn around and work higher, then that can propel corn too, even with the grain deal off. So remember, with corn, all of this trade action right in here was where we were trading with our crop size and with the grain deal on in Russia. So if we're digesting all that information and we turn and work higher, then there's something else happening in the marketplace, right? Yes, the last couple of days, Russia's dominated the headlines, but that's not the case for soybeans. So if beans work higher and corn turns, then I think there's something else afoot and something else that we don't know about that will manifest itself and will make itself known and give us some direction on this market. But for now, beans are trading this morning off of the same headlines, but they're not as weak as the other grains, clearly. So we'll see what they do, and I really think that's where all of our attention and our eyes need to be focused. Oil is getting banged around, cotton's getting banged around, the dollar's getting banged around, and all of that's happening in anticipation of the Fed meeting today. And will they raise at a half a point or 3/4 of a point? as far as the interest rates go, and how will the market react to that. That comes out this afternoon. So today's trade is going to be positioning ahead of that and reacting to the news headlines that come out of Russia, and for corn and wheat for sure. And we'll see what soybeans do with it. If beans turn and work higher, then I think we got to look at owning corn, because I think that corn can really rally with them. I just don't believe, and I won't spend a whole lot of time hammering into this point, but I really don't believe that you can see a sustained corn down move with soybeans rallying. I think that they're going to go together, and if they are apart, I don't think that's going to last very long. So if beans rally, I think that's bullish corn, and if they break, then I think corn's got problems, and we'll see where we go. But I think we need more trade, more confirmation, and more time to digest all the news headlines as they come through. Okay, I told you we were going to be really short today, and the reason is that all of the other stuff that we have working is irrelevant when you have markets that are just getting swung around by headlines like we are. So our analysis is exactly the same. We want to stay hedged. Anything below 7 in corn, I think we just leave sales on. Yes, we're going to accept some volatility in wheat, but we want to see what we're actually dealing with. And in soybeans, we're gonna let them really be our guide, because they may have influence on the market and know something that the rest of us don't know. So I know that's only 7 or 8 minutes, but I can't beat a dead horse. Nothing's changed for weeks in these markets, and so I'm going to wrap it up, and that's all we've got today. So if you want to go through positions and where your farm's at, please call us. We want to work through that with you and make sure that we are have you protected in a way that you can sleep at night. And if you're really nervous about opening the upside up, I really think you got to wait for corn to pop above 7 before you take any action, because we still run the risk of corn breaking up above 7 and then failing immediately and it being false. But I think you got to make it do that work first and accept the reversal risk before you jump and try to get a hold of this, because this bar could accelerate lower, especially if beans break, and if it's true that the grain deal's back on, and we're gonna just move back to business as usual in the ports. So there is significant risk in trading futures and options, and anytime you do so, you should trade in light of your own financial condition. Please call us if you have questions, and we will be here to work through whatever issues you got. I hope it's somewhat helpful, even though it's short today. We will talk to you next week, and we'll keep you updated as news headlines come about. Have a great day.